Here we have records that have been exported from some type of a sales database. Each row represents a record. What I want to do is highlight the entire row blue if I put an X into one of these rows here from this column. And that's why I have this identified as marker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in J3. And I'm going to say conditional formatting, new rule. Use a formula to determine what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say equal to $ J3 is equal to open quotes X. If you don't put open quotes, it's not going to understand that you're trying to flag it based on some text. So if I was going to put some text, then anywhere I write some text in this, hopefully the format will happen. I just want to use an X just so I can be able to mark it. It's critical that you put a $ in front of this J so that it locks to this column. I don't want it to lock to the row in this example because I want to be able to copy this down so that anywhere I put an X, this condition will happen. So what I want it to do is I'm going to hit Format, Blue, OK, OK. And if I put an X here, you'll notice that only this turned blue. We wanted the entire row. So what happened? I'll go to Manage Rules. We'll see the rule I just created. And it says if J3 is equal to X, do this, but it's only applying it to J3. And we want it to apply to the entire row. So what I can do then is I can just click this button, select the entire row, hit OK, and now if I hit apply, that should work. So it only works on this row. Now what I could do is I could Control C, and I could come down here, I could say paste special formats, and now anywhere I put an X in here, the same thing will happen. Now, what's easier, in my opinion, is to just click up here, go back to your Manage Rules, and we're going to set the range we want it to apply to. So if I Control-Shift down, I know that the bottom is on row 110. Control-Shift back to the top, Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules, and I'm going to change this to say from A2, which is right here, down to J110. Now if I apply and OK, now I've applied that formatting to this entire thing. So anywhere through here I put an X, we're going to get that to happen. I'm going to add one more variation to this. In this case, anywhere this county has the word Taylor, I want it to highlight the row orange. I'm going to approach that the same way. I'm going to go to Conditional Formatting, New Rule, use a formula, equal to if I3, and again, I only want it to lock on the columns, so I'm going to remove that. So it's just the $ in front of the column marker, which is I. If that is equal to whatever text I'm going to type, so in this case I could type Taylor, right? In this case I want it to turn orange. And you'll notice that it only did, for the same reason, it's only applying it to this. So if I go back to Manage Rules, we need it to be applying to the entire table, not just I3. So I'm going to copy that, paste it right there. Now I hit apply. Now what you'll see is that anywhere that the word Taylor appears, it is highlighting it orange. Let's modify this a bit. Let's hit Edit Rule, and instead of hard coding in this word, I'm going to change that by clicking on this button, and I'm going to put it right here on this little box I've got. So it's locked on M4. And now what will happen is anything I type into M4 should automatically change what highlights in this table. Let's click Apply. Okay, so now if I type in Taylor, anywhere in here where you see Taylor, we're going to get that highlight. If I change it to Casey, then we'll see that. So this way it's much more dynamic in being able to type and select. Okay, so there's one last thing I want to go over. Let's say if I go back to Manage Rules, and if you don't see your rules when you type this up, you can hit this worksheet and it'll show you all the rules, and not just what you have selected, but everything. And let's say I reorder these, and I'm going to click this bottom one and push it to the top. And what that means is when both of these conditions are met at the same time, it's going to apply this first one, not the second. So if you'll notice, anywhere I have, if I delete this, okay, it highlights orange because it says Taylor. But if I put an X here, it's going to highlight it blue because in terms of the priority in this worksheet, we've said that this rule should come first. If I change it and I hit apply, then it's going to highlight it orange even though I've got this X here. So that's just another way that you can use conditional formatting to filter and sort through your data.